It's Claudia Lash. I am currently working on my flower hugs, and I thought I would show you the stitching part of the flower hug operation. These two have both been sandwiched, basted around the edge, and I have done a lot of stitching on them already. Both of them, the flower has been blanket stitched. The leaves have had blanket stitching on them. I do stitch down the stems I use my free motion foot and just back and forth, all the way up to here and then back down, so I get both sides. I also do a little quilting on the flower. I quilt just a little bit here and then a little around the inside, just straight quilting with my regular quilting foot. And the same on the leaves. After I have them blanket stitched, I will quilt in the ditch with my quilting foot, just down up that sort of, I don't know, I think it helps. And this one then I stopped there because when I do the quilting, I want to do the quilting all in one thread. So here is one that I have done the quilting with the I use my quilting foot to quilt around the outside of the flower and down on each side of the stem, and then around the leaves. And the way that the reason I do that, I just feel it gives it some dimension. Before I quilt, it takes me a few minutes to pick out the correct thread. I go back and forth, but I think my thread is over here. It's sort of a gold. It works well, I think, with this fabric. I will use something different on the yellow one, because it's a white background. I think I'll use something different, but don't hold me to it. I might change my mind. Now then, after I do all of that quilting with the quilting foot, then it's time to do the free motion quilting. And sometimes that takes me quite a bit. I usually start with practicing, and here is what I did on this pink one. I put this clear plastic piece down, and I don't know if that's where it was. It might have been oh, you know what? I had it for this one. It was coming the other direction. Anyway, you can put this down, and you can use, now this is a wet erase marker, but you can also use a dry erase marker on these. And I just will play around. Oh, let me see. Do I want to do circles? Do I want to do curves? Do I want to do leaves? I'll just try little things. And if I don't like what I'm doing, this will come off very easily with water. Then I can try a different thing. So, and sometimes I try something and I think I've got it. Then I will practice. Before I go on to my main thing, I practice on a practice piece, which the practice piece I got so full, it ended up in the trash can. So here's where I practiced for this quilt. But after I've done with the practicing, then I'm ready for free motion quilting. Free motion quilting is something that you need to practice quite a bit at. What I do, the way I set my machine up, is I set it up and usually I put my feed dogs down. This is my quilting foot. I like the one that's shaped like this. Unless I have rickrack or something in the way, I can see better where that needle's going to land. So that's my preferred one. I don't use a stitch regulator, but that's because I've been doing this for a while, and the stitch regulator was just causing me issues. So I set my quilt, my speed on the machine to somewhere middle to 3/4 to fast. You know, I don't put it on very fast, but it's the more you practice, the better you will get. One other thing that I have found that I do is I put my chair down a wee bit, and then it keeps me from being so high and hurting my shoulders. I also use quilter's gloves, which they look dirty, but I do wash them. But this really helps me move things around under my needle. So now I've picked something. I'm going to do the same thing on all of this, and then it'll be time to put the outside binding on and finish it up. And after I get this one quilted, I will quilt this one too. But I think that's all. If you have any questions or any concerns about how to do these, just send me a little note, check my website. You can send me an email or something. I'll tell you as far as I can what works for me as far as quilting the flower hug quilts. They're easy. I mean, they're small, so they're fairly easy to maneuver. It's not like a big quilt that you've got to work a lot on. So that's why I like to do them. They're pretty easy to quilt.